Dear student, if I want to hide any method from inheriting the property, then I can able to use the word called new. WhatsApp, that means whatever the features provided by the WhatsApp can be used by the user. The method itself declared as abstract. For that reason, I am not able to use static as well as virtual modifier. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on inheritance and polymorphism. I am your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Dear student, before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the topic what I have covered in my last session. In my last session, I started with constructor. In that, I have discussed C# default constructor as well as parameterized constructor. Along with that, I have discussed how inheritance and constructors can be used in C#. So what is constructor? Your constructor name must be same as the class name, but it does not have any return type, and constructors are used to initialize the objects. That means when the object is created, the constructors are get invoked. Then I have discussed two type of constructor, that is default constructor and parameterized constructor. So what is default constructor? The constructor without any argument. And what is parameterized constructor? That is nothing but constructor with argument or parameter. But dear student, in my today's session, I'm going to discuss method overriding and what is method hiding in C#. Along with that, I'm going to discuss C# abstraction and abstract method. So what is abstraction? How we can able to achieve abstraction in C#? All those things we are going to discuss in my today's session. Now, at the beginning, I'm going to have method overriding. So what is overriding? It's nothing but the rewriting. Think that I have one method. On that, I'm going to rewrite another method that is known as overriding or overwriting. If derived class defines same method as the defined in its base class. So dear student, think that I have show method and I have show method, and this method present in my parent class and this method is present in my child class. Okay, when my program have same method in both parent class as well as child class, then this is known as method overriding in C#. That means the both method which is present in the class must have same signature. So what is same signature? That's nothing but same return type, same method name as well as same parameters. It is used to achieve runtime polymorphism. Runtime in the sense what? During the execution time, if I want to achieve overloading, then I can go with method overriding. It enables you to provide specific implementation. So dear student, if I consider this method, it is present at the parent class and it is present at the child class. Now, the both method will have same or similar kind of implementation. So here overriding enables you to provide specific implementation of the method which is already provided its base class to perform method overriding. So dear student, if I want to perform method overriding, then I want to use virtual keyword in my base class. So here base class is nothing but the parent class, and I want to use overridden keyword in my child class or in my derived class. Now, this is the example program in order to illustrate method overriding. So dear student, before that, let me to consider this example. Think that I don't have virtual keyword and overridden keyword in this program. So at the beginning, what you have to do here is think that you don't have virtual keyword and overridden keyword. Now, I'm going to use using system. Under this, I'm going to create my own class, that is base class 1. Under this, I have show function, and if I consider derived class, I'm going to inherit the features of base class. Here also, I'm going to have same method. So, same signature. So, what is the message I have here is inside base class, and here I have inside the derived class. So I have same method in both the classes. Now I'm going to create one more class called test overriding. Okay, and here I'm going to create the object to the base class 1. With the help of object, I'm going to call the method called show. Now, see here, once again I'm going to create object for the derived class and I'm going to call the method show. Now tell me what is the output I'm going to get for this program. That is, I'm going to get the output that is inside the base class. That means I'm going to get twice inside the base class because this show method is overridden by this show method. For that reason, I'm going to get the output inside the base class. Now, think that I'm going to explain same program with the different scenario. So, dear student, I have same program. Now, to achieve method overriding, what are the keywords I want to use in C hash? That is virtual and overridden. And where I'm going to use virtual in my base class and where I'm going to use overridden in my derived class. And virtual and overridden are the modifiers. Now, see here, I have the base class. This is nothing but the parent class. And here I have the derived class. This is nothing but the child class. Now, this child class will able to acquire the properties of parent class. Inside parent class, I'm going to have show method. Here also, I'm going to have show method. But I want to get two result which is present in the two show method. That means I want to get inside base class and I want to get inside derived class. So what I want to do? I want to perform method overriding. So to perform method overriding in base class, what I want to do? I want to use virtual keyword, and inside the derived class, I'm going to use override. Now, I'm going to write the main function. I'm going to write the class called test overriding. Inside that, I'm going to write the main program. Now I'm going to create the object to the base class, and I'm going to call the function which is present in the base class. Now once again, I'm going to create the object of derived class. Okay, so I'm going to create the object for the derived class with the help of object. Once again, I'm going to call the method called show. Now, when I execute this program, I'm going to get the output that is inside the base class, and I'm going to get the output inside the derived class. That means when I execute this program, at the beginning, it's going to call the method which is present in the base class. In the next time, it's going to call the method which is present in the derived class. Now, dear student, I'm going to have the concept called method hiding. So, dear student, when I consider program, I'm going to have the access specifier. So, what are the access specifier? I can able to have that is private, public, protected as well as default. And why I required all these specifiers? In order to hide the implementation. So, method hiding is also known as shadowing. So, dear student, if I want to hide any method from inheriting the property, then I can able to use the word called new. So, I want to use the keyword new. That means which method I don't want to inherit. In that time, I can use new keyword. So, method hiding itself known as shadowing. Now, the method of the parent class is available to the child class. That means whatever the method which is present in the parent class can be used by the child class. We know that the properties as well as the features of parent class can be acquired by the child class without using overridden keyword. So, dear student, here I'm going to use new keyword to perform shadowing. That means if I want to hide method from the implementation, then what I can able to do here is I can use new keyword. So, the child class have its own implementation. That means if my child class want to have its own implementation, then what I want to do? I want to use method hiding. So, dear student, this is the example program I'm going to have for my method hiding. So, dear student, what is my class name? My family. Under this, I have the member function or method called member. In that, I'm going to write method inside base class. Now, I'm going to inherit the feature of my family in my member class. Now, here also I have member method. Now, the implementations are same, but I want to hide the implementation. That means I don't want to inherit the feature from the parent class, and I want to have my own implementation for this method. For that, I'm going to have the new keyword. Now, when I use new keyword, this method will have its own implementation. That means this method is different from this method. So, this method is present in this my family, and this member method is present in my member family. But the implementation is totally different because I'm going to have my own implementation by using new keyword. Now, see here, I have the class called shadowing, and inside that I'm going to create the object for the my member. So I'm going to create the object for my derived class, and I'm going to call the method that is obj.member function. So this is the way I can able to use method hiding. That means user can able to hide their details from other classes, and to hide their methods, what they can able to do, they can use the keyword called new. Now, dear student, I'm going to have the concept called abstraction. So what is data abstraction? That's nothing but the data hiding or data binding. Now, dear student, to achieve data abstraction, in C#, we are going to have the keyword called abstract. So, dear student, think that I want to hide the implementation from the user. That time I can go with abstraction. So, dear student, think that I have WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp. Now, user can able to use this WhatsApp. That means whatever the features provided by the WhatsApp can be used by the user. But all the implementation parts are hidden from the user, itself known as abstraction. So, data abstraction is the process of hiding certain details and showing only essential information to the user. So the best example, WhatsApp. Even I can able to consider any social account or social websites like Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, etc. So it's going to hide the essential feature. It's going to hide the feature and it's going to showcase only the essential features to the user. So it is going to provide essential features to the user, but it's going to hide the implementation part from the user. To achieve data abstraction in C#, I'm going to have abstract class as well as interface. Anyway, dear student, we are going to study what is abstract class and what is interface in detail in my upcoming session. So, what is C# abstract? So, what is abstract? The abstract key is used for classes and methods. That means I can able to have abstract class as well as abstract method. And to create abstract class, I'm going to use the keyword called abstract, and to create abstract method, once again I'm going to use abstract keyword. So dear student, what is abstract class? Suppose if I want to create my class as abstract, so I'll use the keyword abstract. And for this abstract class, I'm not able to create object. That means I'm not able to create objects for the abstract class. So here abstract class is nothing but the restricted class that cannot be used to create object. That means if the class is defined as abstract, then we cannot able to create objects for that class. To access it, suppose if I want to use the members as well as methods of that abstract class, then I must want to inherit that abstract class. So, to access it, it must be inherited from another class. So if this abstract method is inherited, then I can able to access the properties as well as methods of that class. Then what about abstract method? As the name itself indicates that it's going to have only the declaration part. So can only be used in an abstract class. So dear student, I can able to use abstract methods in abstract class as well as interface. So what is abstract method? Method body is not defined. For example, think that if I write abstract void run. Okay, this is the example for abstract method. And where I'm going to write the implementation part of this method in my derived class. In my abstract class, I'm just going to write the I'm just going to define the abstract method, and where I'm going to write the implementation part in my derived class. So can only be used in an abstract class. That means I'm going to use abstract method in my abstract class, and it does not have a body. So I just have the skeleton. And where I'm going to write the body in my derived class. So the body is provided by the derived class, where I'm going to write the body of this method in my derived class. So an abstract class can have both abstract and regular method. That means, suppose if I define my class as abstract, then I can have abstract method as well as regular methods. Now, what is abstract method? A method which is declared abstract. That means a method which is declared by using abstract keyword. So this is the example. So this is my access specifier. Abstract is nothing but the keyword, and it does not return anything. For that reason, it is void, and the method name here is draw. So, abstract method which is declared abstract, so it does not have any body, and that kind of method itself called abstract method. And to define abstract method, I'm going to use the keyword abstract, and where I'm going to define abstract method, that is within the abstract class or inside the abstract class, and where I'm going to write the implementation part of this abstract method, that is in my derived class. So this is the example. And while defining abstract class, I cannot able to use static and virtual modifier, because the method itself declared as abstract. For that reason, I am not able to use static as well as virtual modifier. Now, this is my example program. So here, what is my class name? That is shape. And what kind of class? That is abstract. And as I discussed, abstract class can have abstract method. So here draw is nothing but the abstract method, and where I'm going to write the implementation part in my derived class. In my abstract class, I can have only abstract method. In the sense, abstract method does not have any implementation in that class, and where I'm going to implement in my derived class. So I'm going to create the single inheritance. That means I'm going to acquire the features of shape in my rectangle. So this is my parent class, and this is my child class. And I'm going to write the code for this abstract method. Okay, so I'm going to write the code for this abstract method. Now, drawing rectangle, and see here, once again, I'm going to inherit shape in my circle. So, once again, I'm going to inherit shape in my circle. Once again, I'm going to write the implementation of the abstract method. Now, see here, I'm going to create the object. I'm going to create the object for shape. See, shape S equal to rectangle, and I'm going to call S dot draw, and I'm going to call S equal to new circle, and I'm going to call S dot draw. And what is the answer? I'm going to get drawing rectangle and drawing circle. So first, this is my abstract class. So this is my abstract class, and I'm going to create the object, and with the help of abstract class I'm going to call draw method, and I'm going to create the object once again, and I'm going to call the draw method once again. Now I have another program that is nothing but abstract class. See here, I'm going to create abstract class by using abstract keyword. And what is my class name? That is abstract method. That is a method. And I'm going to create abstract method. Now, in this class, I have abstract method as well as regular method. And I'm going to write the implementation of regular method. And suppose if I want to write the implementation of abstract method, where I'm going to write in my derived class, I'm going to write the implementation of abstract method. Now, suppose if I create a method. So what is a method? It is my abstract class. And if I create the object for a method, that is new a method, then I'm going to get the error message, because for the abstract class as well as for an interface, I'm not able to create the object. For that reason, I'm going to get the error message. That means for the abstract class, we are not able to create the object. Anyway, dear student, in my today's session, I started with what is method overriding. Along with that, I have discussed method hiding. Along with that, I have covered abstract method as well as abstract class. In my next session, I'm going to deal with shield class. In that, shield method. In that, I'm going to deal with polymorphism as well as runtime polymorphism. So what are the topics I'm going to cover in my next session? That is shield keyword, shield class as well as shield method, along with that polymorphism. So anyway, dear student, let's meet in the next session with the new topic, shield method and shield class, along with that polymorphism. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.